Here with JCP, new millionaire in Japan. How you liking it?
It appears Japan has it all figured out.
Right?
Everything is almost perfect.
What have you learned? What is it, a week in Japan now?
A week in Japan. The world is a big place, and you need to be Sykes' next millionaire student so you can see the world.
Click the link below, apply for the challenge, go over your story. Just, it's fun to say, like, look, you're a millionaire now, like, we're in Japan, we're living good, we're eating good.
Yeah.
But early on, take people through, like, what did you do, like, your first year, your first 2 years, your first 3 years?
Yeah, so I first discovered Sykes in 2015, and in 2016 is when I actually started trading with real money, with like $2,000 account, and I probably blew that up like 3 times. And
Did you not cut losses quickly? Why does everyone say they blow up?
It
was rule number 1.
I just couldn't catch a winner. It was just like loser after loser after loser after loser.
Okay, but you can still cut losses quickly, can't you?
Yeah, it was just a slow bleed. Like, I lost the account in like maybe 6 months.
Okay.
So it wasn't big losses, but it was just like slow bleed of the account.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And what were you doing for work then?
I was doing all kinds of things. I was a car salesman. I was a security guard. I was going door-to-door sales, whatever it took so that I could trade in the morning.
How was being a security guard in San Francisco?
It was not fun.
What would it be like now if you were a security guard in San Francisco? Because it's gone downhill in the past decade.
I would probably not be here right now.
Right?
I would probably get beat up.
You'd probably get killed. I would get jumped. It's rough. Sure. Look at this light. It's like the beam of light. We are chosen. We don't know how to get rid of it. It's fine. So you're losing the account. You're working normal jobs to fund your trading.
Yeah, pretty much.
What did your friends, what did your family think?
They thought it was just a scam. Nobody really believed in it, to be quite honest. I also dropped out of college during that time. I went to orientation at the University of California, Berkeley, and I never went back. I saw my schedule and I was like, I'm not going to be able to trade with Sykes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So your family must have just loved me in the beginning.
Oh yeah. My dad would always ask me, how much you lose today?
Oh.
The only person who actually kind of supported me was my mom, I would say. She actually believed in it a little bit.
That's cool. Sometimes it's the mom, sometimes it's the dad. Why did she believe in you?
I'm not quite sure.
She gave birth to you.
I guess I was her youngest kid, so I guess she had no choice.
It's vanity because she gave birth to you, so she's really just believing in herself, and you're like an extension.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know what made her believe in me, but I'm glad she did.
That's good. I mean, did that help you? Like your mom versus your dad? Like if she didn't support you, would you have given up?
Probably not, but it would have probably took a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I was broke, so my mom is the one who actually bought me your challenge course.
Nice. Okay. Whatever works. That's awesome.
Works. Yeah.
She was into it.
She was into it. Yeah.
What did she think? She was like, "Yo, you got to invest in your studying."
She kind of never really asked me about it. It was just kind of like I was always just doing it. Like I remember.
She's like, it keeps him off the streets. It's good.
Like whatever makes him happy, I guess.
Damn. So you were studying, you're losing. Why did you keep going?
I just really loved it. Like I enjoyed
love losing?
I enjoyed trading.
Okay.
Like the process, I guess you could say. I mean, nobody really likes losing for 4 years,
for
right?
Sure.
But I don't know. I just loved trading, and I knew that if I kept with it, that I would eventually figure it out.
Because I mean, let's just put this in perspective. When you say that you're losing, okay, slow bleed, like maybe you're too early, you're too late, but like you still see the spikes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like this is the important thing. So many people, like, it matters how you lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't see the spikes and you're just trading random stuff and you're just losing, you're like, there's nothing behind this. But what I find is a lot of people, even those who lose in the beginning, they're seeing the plays, they're seeing other challenge students succeed, and then they're like, wait a minute, I might not have it, but I think I can get this.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even like winning or losing, it's the screen time. Like, it's like anything else. The more you spend time doing it, the more you're going to get better. So I was watching the market every day from like 6:30 to like almost close. So
6:30, Pacific time.
Yeah, Pacific time. Yeah.
Okay.
So eventually that has to pay off. Like your work ethic, it'll pay off. Even if you're losing a lot in the beginning, just stick with it. I truly believe there's only 2 people who lose in this game. It's either the ones who quit too early or the ones who lose all their money before they figure it out.
Short sellers.
Yeah, short sellers.
So were you shorting and going long or just going long?
I was always just going long.
Okay.
Yeah, just going long. Yeah.
But that's the thing. You got to stay in the game so you learn. So you said you're losing for 4 years?
4 years, yeah. Not big amounts of money, but losing, yeah.
And you're working normal jobs.
Working normal jobs. Yeah.
And you're like, one paycheck, let me fund my account. Like, how much did you lose over 4 years?
Probably not that much. Maybe like 8 grand.
Okay.
Yeah, not that much.
So you kept it small.
Like, I never lost enough that it would take me out of the game. I think that was really important because I never really like funded my account like extremely high. It was always like a $2,000 account, and I told myself like I could fund it a little bit more to get over PDT, but I kind of felt like I wanted to earn it. I really wanted to earn the being over PDT, and because it teaches you a lot of patience. It teaches you how to be very selective. Because it's very painful when you don't have any more day trades, and because you wasted it on a lot of junk. And you finally get that big one that you can't trade because you're under PDT.
Sorry, I'm watching this play. Spike huge.
WHLR.
Dude, this is crazy.
Insane.
I was buying this in the 4 area last night. Some of you guys ripped on me for chasing because it was already up from like 80 cents. But I'm like, no, this is a low float runner, giant volume. And I'm buying it at 4, flipping it a few minutes later at 475. Just like jet lag. This was like at 2 in the morning here.
14. He texted me at 2 in the morning. I'm like, bro, I made 75 cents and it went $2 more.
Yesterday, so last night, it went to like 650. So I sold too early at 475. Then today, pre-market, we're watching this. It hit $15 today. So it's up $11 a share from my buy roughly 24 hours ago.
Insane.
Now it's come down a little bit to 10. But low float runners. Sorry to interrupt. We're watching the market too. Going back to your trading, you're losing, small. Your dad's ripping on you.
Yeah.
Your mom's like, I still believe in you.
Yeah.
What did your friends, other family members think?
I would try to tell them about it, like exactly like a perfect scenario, right? I would tell them about, for example, WHLR. It went up $10 overnight. We
like
just
that.
buy it, we can make some money. And they just thought I was full of crap. They thought that I was just bored, didn't know what I was doing. But now they're the ones that asking me questions every single day.
Whoa, we're not getting successful yet. This is going back in the back.
Yeah.
So like for years, did that negativity help you or hurt you? Because for me, negativity, I encourage people to talk smack to me.
Yeah.
Like Jordan did this, Larry Bird did this, like Tom Brady does this. Like they use all that negativity as fuel. And I say I wouldn't have this many millionaire students. I wouldn't work this hard without my haters. Because like the haters say like you're fake, like this isn't going to work. So it drives me to work harder. Did that work for you?
100%. I always knew that I would have the last laugh. Like everybody would rip on me, everybody would make fun of me. But at the end of the day, I knew that I was going to make it happen.
Why did you have so much faith?
I had
Are you very religious? Like, what's going on?
No, I would just like watch a lot of like motivational stuff. And like, what did they say? One day, it'll be your day. But if you give up, it'll never be your day. And that quote, I just stuck with me forever.
I mean, you can also just use the lotto. Like, you can't win if you don't play.
Exactly. That too. That too.
Although I wouldn't recommend the lotto. The odds are terrible and you can't do anything about it. So you kept going through the negativity, through the losses. Year 4, year 5, what changed?
I actually started to journal like everything. Like I went over like I journaled 1,000 trades on actual paper, and I categorized them to see where I was making money and where I was losing money. I remember you used to say you have to be like a scientist. You have to experiment.
Yeah.
And I started to do that and started to be more selective. I started focusing on only OTCs during a certain amount of time, and after that is when I got my first year of consistency, and I was able to get over PDT.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why didn't you journal from the beginning?
Just being a lazy bum, I guess.
Because I didn't just come up with a scientist analogy like
years.
4 years in.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, wait a minute, let me try this.
I guess I just felt enough pain like of losing, and I said, enough is enough. I'm going to actually take this like 100% serious.
I mean, that's what helps, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you went from losing a few $1,000s to what? Like, what were your first wins like? Your first consistency?
They were really small. They were like $100 wins again and again, and then slowly $300 wins, and then slowly 500.
You still lost sometimes too.
Yeah, for sure. But they were a lot smaller. But I remember my first $1,000 trade. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this.
What was it?
SPCE.
Ooh.
Yeah, when it went to $20.
How long did it take you?
Oh man, that was probably like 5 years into the journey.
No, I mean like how long were you in the trade?
Oh, it was like a 2-day trade.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it went higher?
Oh yeah, it went like $15 higher.
So, well, that's the thing, right? So like WHLR, this is why I bring this up. Yesterday, I'm like jet lagged, not wanting to trade, but I saw it made like $1,300 in a few minutes. Then it went like $10 a share higher today. Some people might say like, Tim, you messed up. I don't care. I wasn't going to stay up, let alone like, even do the trade. Like sometimes you just do the trade and then you nail it and then you're done.
You nail and bail.
You nail and bail.
That's how you do it.
Right?
Yeah.
And you don't worry if it goes higher. So many people are worried about like stocks going higher. They're like, oh, I deserve more. Like you don't deserve anything, frankly. Okay. 90% of traders lose. All you can do is take your piece of the pie. And how did you feel with your $1,000?
I felt great in the moment, but then I was like, oh man, I could have held a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, I was happy with it. I made progress. My first 4-figure trade. Couldn't be happier for it.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's how it starts.
Yeah, exactly.
So then what did you do after that?
After that,
what year is this? This is
probably in 2019. I got my $2,000 account to like $12,000, nice. And then the next year, I turned that $12,000 into almost $100,000.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was like 2020, and then 2021.
Was it lots of like $1,000 gains, or was it $2,000?
Oh yeah,
gains?
It was like a lot of $1,000 gains. Yeah, just singles again and again and again, kind of like you.
More than small losses.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did you get ever cocky? Did you ever go from like you said you went 12,000 to 100,000? Did you ever go from like 80 back down to 60?
No, that year was very consistent. It wasn't until like 2021 where I started to have bigger losses and bigger wins.
What happened in 2021?
2021 was my best year ever. I made like a little over $500,000.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great way to expand the playbook. I started playing more listed, and OTCs were really hot.
Yeah. And
that 2021 was the first year that I actually surrounded myself with traders like Jack Kellogg and other good traders. So I guess their greatness rubbed off on me a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, now you're in the game, right? Like when you have 2,000, even 12,000, you're under the PDT, whether you're making a little, whether you're journaling or not, like you're not really in the game. It's like pregame.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You're pregame for sure.
So like, and that's how everyone should be, by the way. Like I say, you have two accounts. You have your brokerage account and your knowledge account. You have to grow your knowledge account first. Then you can grow your brokerage account. You can't grow your brokerage account without the knowledge. And even if you do grow your brokerage account without the knowledge, you're going to lose it. Like most people in 2020, 2021, because they thought it was so easy. They're like, I got messages. People were like, Sykes, you're obsolete. Like, and I'm like, I don't feel obsolete. I'm having a record year too. And I'm doing it in a structured way. There's a saying, a fool and his money soon are parted, okay? So you can make money, but you still need to have rules, discipline. You have to make money the right way. If you just gamble, if you just hodl, more than likely you're going to lose most or all of it, right?
For sure, 100%.
We know a lot of people who did very well in 2020 and 2021. Like the dumbest people I know made the most because they're just hodling like these 0.000 like crap coins and NFTs and all this stuff.
Sometimes the dumb money makes the most money.
But they didn't take it. So this is the gift and the curse. So some people say, Tim, like you work so hard with these small singles, like don't you ever just want to hodl? And I'll ask you this question too. For me, I don't care how high something goes because it's not very predictable. And like 2020, 2021 was like unique. Even now, a lot of these plays, I think it's unique just due to short squeezes. But I'd rather take smaller gains that are consistent and meticulous than try to hodl, go for home runs while most of the time striking out. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. It also depends on the market environment. So this year, for example, 2024, I've been rewarded by holding a little bit longer. Like, for example, Fannie Mae, that was my biggest winner of the year, made like $75,000.
Nice.
So I got rewarded on that, but then I started to kind of lose my risk management because, I made all this money on a single trade. So you kind of get sloppy, but you have to come back to your risk management. Otherwise, you're going to get taken out of the game.
So I was in Boston the other day, too, filming with Stratty. Stratty's an upcoming challenge student, just crossed 400,000. He had made 60,000 on the week, but what happened?
Oh, man, poor Stratty.
He got too cocky, and then he lost roughly half of it, losing like 30,000, I think, over 3 days. Still up 30,000 on the week, roughly, but like wasted half of his gains by getting too cocky. And that's what happened with you after Fannie Mae?
Oh, yeah. So I started to just like not care and like, I'm going to just hold. I really think this is going to go up. And you start adding to losers, and it kind of became like, how much pain can I take? So I ended up just cutting some losses.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, I want to teach you guys, A, to make the money, but then B, to keep the money and keep making money. It's not enough just to make the money, then like you learn the wrong lessons. Like, I think Fannie Mae is a good lesson. It was your biggest great gain, but it also led to some potential danger.
Yeah. You really have to adapt to the market environment. Some environments, they reward you for holding a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But then some environments, they'll make you pay and you'll give back a lot of money if you are stubborn and don't want to cut your losses.
And trading is very counterintuitive too, like where it's like you feel like you're getting it. You're like, okay, I see how this is going. And like you sized up, you nailed it. And then you're like, okay, this is what I have to do. And then you try doing that again and again. And then you're like, how much of the 75,000 did you lose?
Not that much. Maybe like 10K.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you held on to the majority of it and you got the lessons.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I love about the market. This is what I was telling Stratty. The market giveth and taketh. It giveth opportunities, but it taketh money if you are undisciplined. And it's kind of nice that, like, sometimes the world can be like, there's a lot of injustice in the world, depending on how much money you have, depending on where you're born. Like, sometimes there's just not justice. In the stock market, doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter where you're born, there's justice. If you ever get too cocky, the market will humble you. The market isn't like, oh, you were born here, such and such. Okay, we'll let it slide. No.
Yeah, that is a big fact right
Everyone is the same. And Stratty gets too cocky, he gets smacked. You get too cocky, you get smacked. I get too cocky, you get smacked. You get too cocky, you get smacked. Fun fact, Andrew, another new Millionaire Challenge student on Fannie Mae, what was he up? Like 150,000, I think?
I think more.
Like $175,000.
It was up a lot.
It was his biggest gain ever. He didn't take it. We were actually supposed to go to Dubai. When you cross $1 million, I like taking students on trips. He turned down the Dubai trip just days before. I had everything booked. And he's like, sorry, Tim, I got to focus on Fannie Mae. It's my biggest trade ever. I was like, dude, you can always sell it and come to Dubai. He did not sell it. He missed out on Dubai. I have like a video where I'm like, I have like my arm around nobody. And I'm like, hey, Andy, how great is Dubai? Oh, wait, you're not here.
Oh, poor Andy.
And he overheld because I think he wanted 200 or 250,000. He wanted something more. And then Fannie Mae turned around.
Yeah, we really thought Fannie Mae was going to get over too. That was the thesis. But
what made you take profits versus Andy did not? And I think Andy lost like 12,000 on it. It wasn't too bad of a loss, but to go from plus 150 or 175,000 to negative 12.
Yeah, I took profits because honestly, my profit finger started to get really itchy. And it started to reject $2 a couple times. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this one slip away. So I sold.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do I get more people to do this? I think that there's a way to like get aggressive. It's good that you were aggressive. It's good that you sized up. But then you have to recognize and have perspective and be like, this is my biggest gain ever. Got to lock it in.
Yeah, exactly.
What was your previous biggest gain before that?
That was in 2021, ILUS, remember that OTC?
Yeah.
I made about 50,000 on that
You
one.
just come up with iLewis. You call it a name.
Yeah, that's what they call it on Twitter. ILUS.
How much did you make on it?
Around 50K.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you recognize, you have perspective. You're really sizing up now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like that's helping you. So
Definitely.
2022, 2023, how did you do?
2022 was a rough year, I'm not going to lie. That year was mostly about keeping my seat at the table. I was still green, but not very much. I moved out of my parents' house, so it was like the first time I had to like take care of all these bills, right?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of pressure, but I think I made like 25,000 that year. And then
learned a lot.
I learned a lot, yeah. And then 2023, I bounced back. I made around 170,000.
And that's when did you cross $1 million officially? I remember you messaged
this
me.
April, this past April.
You messaged me. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
That was a
this
good
past
message.
April. That was a good month.
I like getting messages like that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So 2022, the average trading account actually lost 40% that year. The average.
Wow, really?
Barron's did a whole thing like traders got wrecked.
Yeah,
because you had like
was rough.
the craziness of 2020, 2021. I say 2022 was like the hangover.
Yeah.
You go for like a great party, fantastic. The next day you feel like death.
Yeah.
That's 2022.
2021, a lot of people made a lot of money, and then 2022, a lot of them lost everything.
Death. Or more, especially if you're shorts.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to just play defense. And you cannot succeed in this game if you lose your seat at the table.
So I was barely green in 2022 and I was so pissed at myself. But again, I had $1 million years in 2020 and 2021 in trading. And I never had that much. I trade pretty conservative. So I like that analogy, your seat at the table.
Yeah.
you need to try to size up when there's great plays and size down when there's not, and always stay in the game so you can learn, right? Like
exactly.
you're still learning, even in this market, even from Tokyo, like.
Yeah, all it takes is one trade to like knock you out. And it'll either like knock out your money completely or your confidence will just get shattered. Or both.
Right?
That'll be the worst case scenario.
And I know, part of the reason why I don't short sell anymore right now is I know many shorts who have just gotten annihilated. They lost everything, and you just don't need to do that. So we'll do more videos. We have to go to dinner. We have like a special restaurant in a little bit.
We're having what, raw chicken?
We don't need to mention exactly what it is. You're going to scare the people. They don't understand Japan is different. Anyways, click the link below, apply for the challenge. Congratulate JCP on, all of his success and more.
Thank you.
Good,
thank you.
level-headed trader here. You got to stay humble.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't get cocky.
And don't short.
That's it. Thank you guys. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Cheers.